So, can we stop pretending the Chemical Brothers ever lost it? Big Beat is a bit of a goofy name for such a motivational genre of music. It sounds more like a Rayman boss than it does a progressive and groove-heavy strain of electronic dance, and I only wish that half the time it was anywhere near as fun and spillingly creative as a Rayman game, but I can at least rely on Chembros to be taking it to weird areas. They certainly keep tabs on that. Even the Chemical Brothers had their rough patches, but even when they did, it was with the ambition of trying something new, so at least it was a very aesthetically pleasing hill to die on, so I appreciate that a lot more than those who just didn't even bother. I suppose it's due to the inherent infatuation with the psychedelic. They seem to just like to make things that sound trippy and odd. They came close to a complete compromise with Born in the Echoes, but I'm now willing to pretend that album didn't even happen now that No Geography is here. Because it's the Chemical Brothers, I was always going to check this out eventually, but I ended up doing it towards the end of March just to get it out of the way, thinking it would just be an easy revival of the early groove-driven and motive Exit Planet Dust sound. The thing is, it was, but the thing also is, it was the best revival of it that I didn't even think I was willing to ask for. It's not just road trip music, it's summer road trip music. It's summer road trip music through places so unfamiliar to you, it makes you excited for that arm-pumping sense of discovery, even if it's through a place like Huntley. But most of all, it's a fun summer road trip, and that's what they nailed. Fun. In 2010, Chembros dropped what I thought was their most unexpectedly progressive and challenging album, and also their best, Further, an album that really must have felt like the daring dawn of a new decade that it was released for, surging and skipping and swirling with excitement like my face when someone in the room opens the first pack of Twisties. No Geography feels exactly like that, but with a more streamlined, consistent groove that keeps it moving from one track to the next, so if they wanted to, they could have just sewn it all together as one long track, could have fooled me. And accompanied by fringe-cut representative AURORA on vocals, this album was set to be one that I couldn't escape the charisma of, nor was it one that I really wanted to, anyways. It's a bass groove so funky, it's a cowbell rhythm so infectious, it's a skipping sample of a string arrangement so uplifting that I can't stop myself from bobbing my head back and forth. The chimes on Got to Keep On, the goofy elastic-like sample repetition on Bango, the machine gun-like snares on Gravity drops that eventually sound like a rocket taking off. These are all just festive decorations over what is, for the entire first half of the album, the same rhythm, but that's what makes it so fun to listen to. It's like a fountain with changing colours. Yeah, they're just changing colours, but it's a fountain. The second half of the album drops the fantastic momentum quite jarringly, sadly. The resulting tracks are still bangers at their core, but after the daring and determined the universe sent me, that shoots for the skies and is unafraid of reaching the stars, We've Got to Try just sort of swanks into the camera frame with baggy pants and an 80s boombox, which, don't get me wrong, is still pretty cool, but it's such an odd change of scope to be dealing with, like building up to the reveal of a huge bakery, and it turns out they're only selling gingerbread men. Also, those overlapping ray gun sirens on Free Yourself are a bit annoying. They sound just like how a Toho level looks. I wouldn't want it to seem like the album is ruined past track 6, because it's not. It stays creative and determined and still manages to finish with a glisteningly optimistic closing track, the kind that makes you sad it's all over. And isn't that just how a road trip works anyways? There are some grating annoyances, but in hindsight it was a transitional journey that was just as valuable as your arrival in the end. So a big meaty yeet for the Big Beat. 7 out of 10 methinks. It's not so much a total reinvention as much as it is them letting us know that their music can still bloody go!